Hello, this is My Gaming Life, and today I'm going to show you how very simply to import a FBX model from Blender to Amazon Lumberyard. Okay, now Amazon Lumberyard is a new game engine released by Amazon, of course, and I've just started to use it. I'm normally a Blender game engine user. I love the Blender game engine. I know it's not the greatest engine out there. It's not the best option for those looking for a serious game engine for a serious project to make. But I've been using Blender for over 8 years. I'm in love with it. It's like my first love so far as 3D modeling is concerned. So even to this day, I use the Blender game engine. However, as I've gotten older, I realized that with the ideas that I have in mind, with the games that I've become interested in, I had to accept that Blender is limited. The game engine is very limited and in scope, and so naturally an alternative had to be provided. And yes, I do have, as you can see, Unreal Engine 4. I have Unity, but Amazon Lumberyard, I wanted to try a new engine, something that no one else is really using. I don't like to really run with the crowd. I know everybody's using Unity and Unreal, but I wanted to go a different route. So I wanted to try something new, and just great timing, I guess. Amazon released a whole new engine based on the CryEngine. So without wasting any more time, that's just a little bit of my background. So hopefully I get good enough with Amazon Lumberyard that I can actually begin to actually create games, and nothing crazy, but I get comfortable with it enough to where I can actually develop something with it. So anyway, I know there are a lot of Blender users out there, Blender game engine users, and who might have seen Amazon Lumberyard, but due to it's new, so not a lot of tutorials out there, not a lot of resources available. So for all my Blender users out there, this is for you guys. If you want to dabble around with the Amazon Lumberyard and learn how to import your models. So first, obviously, you have your model. You can either model it yourself or download it online. I model everything myself because to me that's the best part of 3D modeling, is making it yourself. So you got a model right here, and quickly, if you're since this tutorial is primarily for Blender users, they're familiar with all of this. So I'm not gonna give a tutorial on the navigation of Blender or anything like that. But as you can see, I have an ambient occlusion map. I have my diffuse map, and I have a bump map. I know most people use normal maps, but I like bump maps, so that's what I use. Okay, so whatever texture you want to use, that's up to you. What I like to do is I like to incorporate the ambient occlusion map and the diffuse map together. I like to place them together into one map. So what I'm gonna do here is wow, this seems like it is turning into a Blender tutorial. So really quick, I'm just gonna do this real quick. So I mean, but it applies to any program that you use for those kind of things. I like to just combine my ambient occlusion maps and my diffuse maps into one texture. That way I don't have to deal with like 3 and 4 maps. So this is a map that I have that incorporates both of those things, and so all I'm dealing with is just one map, and that's what I like. So anyway, so in Blender, for my Blender users, obviously you're gonna go to export and FBX. You're gonna choose FBX. Okay, now what I do to make it easier for me is I have a separate folder for crate, and I save my FBX in the crate folder, and then I have my crate textures in the same directory. It just makes it a lot easier. It just makes everything a lot easier. So I'm gonna have all my textures, well, my one texture right there in that folder, and then I'll export my dirty crate FBX right there. So I've already exported it So all you have to do is just press export, and then it's done. And then that's all we have to do in Blender. All right, so we're gonna go over to Amazon Lumberyard. And again, I'm new to this myself. I just started dabbling with it. I'm not the greatest, but as I learn more things, I will share it with you guys. So what I've learned was, so if I want to import an object, you're going to go to View at the top, Open View Pane, Import Geometry from FBX. Fairly simple, right? So FBX file, and once again, I'll do that again. So you're gonna go to then you see FBX file right here. Click this, which is the browser button, and you're going to go to your directory where you saved your FBX. So FBX is right there. You're gonna click FBX, obviously Dirty Crate FBX. It'll say importing. It's imperative that you have geometry checked. Okay, and then you're going to come down to import checked. So once you click that, you have to determine where in the directories would you like to save the object, and it'll convert it to CGF, which is the extension that Amazon reads from for objects. So don't be alarmed that it says CGF. That's just what it converts to in Amazon Lumberyard. So you select the directory. It's imperative that you remember where you saved it. Okay, so to keep things simple, I recommend saving it within the sample projects folder of your project that you're working on. Just save it in that, in those same branches of directories. So by default, it'll save it within the project, and that's what I recommend. If you're just starting out. So you're gonna go to import to CGF. You click that, and then that's well, I've already made it, so I'm not gonna overwrite it. You won't get that, but you import it, and then that's that. So you can close this. And it was important to remember where you what directory you saved the object in, because you'll have to find it over here. So most likely, if you follow the steps that I've said, you just save it in the default directory. You just come over to Brush, Objects. This is where I save mine, and Dirty Crate is right here. And you'll get a little preview down here. Keep in mind that these objects that are imported from Blender, they won't have textures on them. Okay, they won't have textures on them. Don't be alarmed. I'll show you how to apply those textures to the object, but just know that they won't have textures on them when they're imported from Blender. Okay, so I'm gonna delete this. Yes, just so I can show you guys. So again, remember the directory you saved it in. I have it right here. And again, it won't have a texture. Just drag it, drop it. Okay, select what you want, left click, and it'll drop right there. Now I have and up here are your tools. Really quickly, you have your select tool, you have your select and move, rotation, scale, and terrain. So the hotkeys are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really easy, right? So if you select 2, it's to move. I'm just gonna move it up like that, and as you can see, it doesn't have a texture. You might be thinking, oh, I did something wrong. What did I do? No, you didn't do anything wrong. Okay, that's just the way it is right now, but not to worry. So once you import the model, all right, you're gonna come over here, and it's this is a material tab, so it'll say no custom material. You click that. Okay, you come over here. Okay, see, I've already made a material called crate, but you won't have that option. Whatever model you have, there won't be a material for that object. You'd have to create it, and very simply, you would just click add new material, and the very next thing you would name the material. So say if I named it crate, so I would right click, add new material. I would name it crate, and this would show up. Of course, this texture would not be there but this is exactly what you would see. Okay, so you scroll all the way down, and texture maps, that's where you want to be. And as you can see, I loaded my textures, diffuse and normal map. So if you have a diffuse map, you just come over here and click on diffuse, and this is very important. Okay, so let's go back over here. Now, I know I said I congregate all my wrong folder. Okay, I congregate all my textures next to Dirty Crate FBX. That's just what I do personally. Okay, because once all this work is done, once I've exported to FBX, these textures that I have in the same directory as my FBX, I click that folder, and I highlight all the textures. Okay. In fact, excuse me, I take the whole textures folder. I take the entire textures folder. Okay, copy, don't cut. Okay, and then I save it in the same directory as I save it in the materials directory of my sample project, or of whatever directory you choose, whatever directory within Amazon Lumberyard that you choose. That's where you would save your textures. The reason I save it under sample project materials is because in most cases that's the default directory that Amazon is looking. Okay, so as you can see, I'm in the samples project directory, and as you can see right here, up here, you see Amazon Lumberyard, dev, cache, sample projects. Okay, so that is the same exact directory as this right here. You got dev, sample project, materials. Okay, this is the same exact thing. Okay, you see materials right here. Try not to get confused. Materials right here. Okay, so sample project, materials, under sample project. Okay, so to recap, let's go back. My FBX is right here. The texture folder that I made with all my textures. Okay, I grab that entire folder. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go over here to Amazon. Okay, so say if it'll be saved in your C drive. Most cases, not in every case. Hopefully, yours will be saved in the C drive. I'm pretty sure it is by default. Amazon Lumberyard, all right, dev. Okay, simple project, materials, paste. This right here, paste it. Okay, right there. Obviously, this is not for every project you do. Okay, this is for the sake of the tutorial. If you just want to learn how to import it, if you're following along, for the sake of the tutorial, we're going to save all our pertinent data in the sample projects, under sample projects. Okay, so materials. So I paste my crate texture folder right there, and that's we won't worry about that right now. But yes, crate textures. So that's done. So when I click material under, again, sample project, that crate textures folder that I just pasted is right here. So we click it. All right, and this is where you have all of these textures that we've saved in our original folder. Okay, so they're all right there, and we see them all right here. Now Amazon Lumberyard converts them to DDS. Okay, I'm gonna choose full render. Like I said, I like to have my ambient inclusions and diffuse maps all combined into one big map with both those features. But you can do them individually. You do have that option. For example, you have diffuse map right here, you have normal map, you have specular map, details, height map, so on and so forth. So you can do that if you'd like. But me, I'm going to delete that, and I'm just gonna have one map, full render. Okay, so once you have full render, whatever image you chose, have it under diffuse. Okay, so again, you're gonna go on the texture maps. You have all your options. You have diffuse, you have normal, you have specular, you have detail, height map, so on and so forth. Okay, so for your diffuse map, you just put them in the corresponding places. Okay, so I have my full render map, so it has ambient occlusion and the diffuse map combined into one. Okay, so once you do that, you click create. You click your texture that you just loaded. Make sure you click that. It's very imperative. In addition to that, you want to make sure you click the object that you want to apply this material to. Okay, so you click that and make sure this is highlighted. You click your texture you just loaded, and then you click over here on this button right here, assign item to selected object. You just click that, and then that's it. So we can close this, and as you see, we've imported our object with textures. Now these areas around here are dark. As you can see, the sides are very dark. Okay, now I'm pretty sure that's because the lighting hasn't been built in the level yet. So you know, obviously we have the sunlight, but there is no lighting in the level, so the sides aren't being illuminated. Okay, but to compensate for that, how I've compensated for that, because I'm not going to give a tutorial on lighting until I feel comfortable with it. But if you want to just see how your model looks irrespective of light, then let's we're simply going to go back into the materials tab. So you go back into your materials tab, and again, how I've compensated for it until I really get a grip on the lighting is you just increase the glow amount. Just increase it to 1. You can increase the smoothing if you'd like, but you don't have to. But so I increase the glow amount to 1, and again, this is just a substitution for not having the lighting built into the level. I'll have a tutorial on that once I fully get my head wrapped around it and learn how to do it all, and I feel confident in it. So just set the glow amount to 1, and I'll give you a good look at your model. Again, it won't look exactly like your Blender model. 2 different programs, 2 different lighting algorithms, things of that nature. However, your model can look a lot better than this. If you already know how to do the lighting in Amazon Lumberyard, you set the lighting up the way you wanted to. This wasn't a tutorial on lighting. This was just how to import your model from Blender. So the model can look way better than what it will look like when you import it without any sort of lighting built into the level. So, but that's really all there is to it. I think it looks pretty good. Obviously, without the lighting data, I still think it looks pretty good. But yep, that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, just leave any comments. I hope I explained this the best I could. We're already running on 20 minutes. I didn't expect it to be this long, but so that's how you import a model from Blender into Amazon Lumberyard. Thanks for watching.